He's one half of the Eternal MMA 98 main event, and we got him here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event.
Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall. Melbourne Pavilion. Not even backstage, we're literally outside.
Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up because we're killing
Welcome to the Australian MMA Podcast. My name is Matt Tinley, and today's guest is Matt the Viper Vaile. Good friend of the show, had him on before. Matt is a bit of a silent viper at times. He's been around for a very, very long time. He's a former Hex welterweight champion. He's recently picked up the Diamondback welterweight crown, where he beat Lyle Karam, who trains out, I think, Cardio Flex. Back in the day, was a training partner of Dricus du Plessis, the former UFC middleweight champion, if I'm not mistaken. And before Matt, his most recent defeat was against, so I can just read it so I don't sound racist. His recent defeat was against Themba Gorimbo, the guy from the UFC. So Matt Vaile beat that guy. So, you know, it was like a pretty impressive victory. Matt's taken on kind of the who's who of fighters, especially in this country, and he kind of had a bit of a hiatus for a couple of years as well. We've done a previous interview with Matt, so definitely go check that out if you want to kind of dive into that a little bit more. And he's had some battles back and forth with Kit Campbell. He had a not too recent loss against Jono Mikhailov, who's obviously doing wonders in the UFC now. And sort of story with Matt Vaile is it goes back about a year and a half ago, when maybe even two. He was supposed to take on Joseph Luciano for the Eternal MMA welterweight championship before sort of, I don't know what it was, contract issues or whatever it was, something happened, and the fight didn't end up happening. And Matt Vaile went on, took some more fights on Hex, won the Diamondback championship, and now he gets kind of almost like full circle it, and he's taking on David the Smiling Assassin Martinez for the Eternal MMA welterweight crown, September 13th at Southport Sharks. It's going to be a cracker of a fight because David Martinez is probably looking the best he's ever looked. I think, honestly, he's going to be like a first ballot Hall of Famer in regional Australian MMA, especially if he doesn't kind of make it to the next level. He's going to probably be one of the best fighters that never did. And a lot of that is going to come down to either age or style or, you know, issues with the scale and whatnot. But Dave Martinez, I think, is truly one of the scariest guys that you would ever want to fight this side of the region. And Matt Vaile is taking him on. And Martinez has often had, you know, he's been stopped early type thing with cuts and stuff like that with strikers. And kind of if he can get through that, he often dominates them on the ground. And he's even showing a sort of revamped striking game. But yeah, Matt Vaile is very much that. He's kickboxing titles, and you know, he's absolute start of a fighter. And like I said, he's got just about every belt going around in the region but this one. He's 34, and he's talked about that, you know, the end is very near. So it's always good to see how he sort of talks about fighting, and that it's not necessarily to get to the next level, but the fact that he's kind of just doing it for the love of it now, and kind of knows he's on his way out, which is kind of like freeing and almost creating this brand new style. So, look, before we get into it, I want to thank our friends at Combat Sports Insurance, and of course our gym partner, Drillich Combat Academy, and stay tuned to Australian MMA and shop.australianmma.com.au because we got a whole new revamp store coming, loads of stuff you can buy, plus Australian MMA issue 2 coming out very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Matt the Viper Vaile. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Good friend of the show, it's Matt the Wedding Vaile. Mate, welcome.
Hey, bro, how you going?
Now, mate, actually, I've never even asked you. Where did you get the nickname the Viper?
The Viper. I think it was when I turned pro, my coach said I got to have a name. he just gave on to me.
Don't you love that? Like when there's like a fighter, it's often like you always thought like you needed a nickname, and now these days it's like it doesn't matter as much, but you had to be like the Iceman, or you had to have some
Something.
yeah.
Yeah. Give you a bit of aura.
Do you think it's giving you aura? Are you like, well, I'm the Viper, so I gotta go out there and smash people.
I guess so. I guess so. It's sort of try to live up to the name, eh?
Now, mate, before I get talking into this amazing opportunity and fight coming up, your last fight was super impressive, man, on Diamondback against Lyle Cram. How'd you feel about that? I mean, fourth round stoppage. He was a tough dude that I think he trained with like Drickus and stuff like that back in the day, so he was quite talented.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with that performance. Especially having like a few sort of lackluster ones in the before that. I sort of just wasn't really feeling myself. But then in that fight, yeah, it just definitely came together and yeah, felt like I had things going.
How do you bounce back after? I mean, look, Kit Campbell and John O'Micallef, obviously studs, like UFC talent. But you know, you take a stumble against them at your age. Were you like, oh shit, I'm done, I'm out? Like, how did you sort of regather yourself?
I wasn't really too bothered about that. It's like I think in a fight you can always see it's like where you went wrong. And I always can pick out exactly what I did wrong, or like there's certain things that lead to a loss or whatever. But looking back, like I've never been like, oh, I'm gonna quit after this. But I think yeah, it's always got that bit of hope, being like, oh man, it's only like a real small change, and I definitely could have beat these guys. So
Mm.
I know I'm still going. I'm just more so enjoying it now rather than having a goal in mind of like, need to get somewhere. Now it's sort of just for pure enjoyment. So yeah.
Is that almost like freeing in a way?
Yeah, 100%. I think I definitely felt it in my last fight. Like there was no pressure. I literally just was like, I'm just gonna go have fun. And it was.
Is the preparation then as fun as well? And obviously, like you're in fight week as well. So is it still is that bit more fun?
Yeah, I don't think that really changes as much. I'm still like real determined and want to get the win and everything and obviously put on a good performance. So that side of it's all still there, but the pressure of what's next isn't really so.
Do you feel like MMA's like changed a little bit to where you can still have a really, really respectable career and you can be sort of, make a tiny bit of money, but you can be at least sort of revered by your peers without having to go to the UFC?
Uh, I guess so. I don't really think there's any rules around. Everyone's making their own journey. Yeah, there's no really like set thing of like if you're respected or not, but it's just comes down to how you feel about yourself. It doesn't really fucking matter what even anyone else thinks.
Well, how do you feel about yourself in your career so far?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy, eh? Like I'd love to have a couple more fights, but to be honest, it's sort of nearing the end
Mm.
for me. I've sort of got a real busy life, so with family and work, so got heaps of things going for me. I'm sort of just been dragging this long for ever since I was young. So we're still going. We're still going.
Because I mean, is there a plan, or is it just kind of almost like, oh, like one more loss and I'm done, or something like that?
I think it's like if nothing really excites me, like opportunities excite me, like this fight coming up that was like the perfect kind of thing for me. I was meant to fight for that bout, as you know, a while ago, and it didn't come about. So then, sort of how this ended up, it's sort of good timing. Yeah, I think it's more so exciting things for me. Like if things don't opportunities don't really interest me, that's when I'm sort of going to be like, oh, it's not really worth it. Like
Mm.
I'm not gonna fight for pennies just against someone that's a no name or something. Like
Yeah, yeah. Um, And is it kind of cool to have almost, I mean, not a full circle moment, but to almost like right the wrong of you were about to fight Joseph Luciano for the Eternal MMA Welterweight Championship, and that fell through shenanigans outside of your control. You
Yeah.
then kind of go on a bit of a side quest as well, but then you finally get to sort of have that opportunity for that Eternal crown. Is that kind of cool?
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I was sort of, that whole thing was, yeah, it was sort of like at the peak of, I don't know, so many cancellations of other fights and everything. It was just like the cherry on top that was just so annoying. So it's good to come back around and sort of get this opportunity again.
I feel like there's a cool club too if you can pick up the Hex title and the Eternal title at some point in your career. I feel like that kind of lets everyone know, like, nah, I was super legit.
Yeah, I think yeah, it will be 4 titles, I think, if I manage to grab this one. So yeah,
Where
it's
do you
gonna be good.
where do you keep them all?
We got a couple. I got a couple at home. Most of them other ones are just at the gym.
Do you reckon, like, especially when you like retire, are you gonna like build like a big trophy case or anything like that?
I don't know, I'm not too fussed on that kind of stuff. I just have I have a whole shelf on of just like kickboxing and MMA trophies in my garage as well that are just like collecting dust. So
Just
they're probably better in some place like the gym. They give it a bit more rep.
just throw them in the pile, eh?
Yeah.
And you got a little man yourself, don't you? So, like, does he know the value of sort of what you've done?
Not yet. I sort of he's just starting to get into training now, so he's gonna turn 6 end of the year. So he's like just found a new love for like MMA and stuff. It was sort of dragging him to training for his whole life from sort of since he could walk, and he like didn't really enjoy it. Like he just had it was a thing he had to do, and now he's probably like more motivated than me.
Do you
So it's been cool.
do you have to explain to him that you were like and are like very good?
No, I don't think he understands. Hey. It's funny. It's funny.
That's why you need that trophy case at home. So like one day you get to be like, yeah, I was pretty good
Yeah.
too.
Well, he did say to me last week that I should let other people win because I've got so many trophies in the garage.
It's a fair point. Have you thought about that?
I said, nah, it's not really an option. Not willing to share.
And mate, balancing obviously life and fighting, it sounds like it does get a bit tricky, especially at this end. I mean, I'm 33 myself, and I know that like once you hit that over that 30 mark, man, life just starts happening, and you almost kind of when you look back to when you were 20 and you thought you were busy, and you're like, what are you talking about? So I can't imagine what you're like now, man. Is it super tricky now trying to balance, because you are at the top of the sport in Oceania type thing. So has it been
Yeah.
hard to sort of balance it all?
Yeah, definitely. I think it comes in waves of like different things happening, but yeah, you sort of make it happen and sort of try and make the most of the time that in between sort of fights and that. So I sort of definitely made the decision I want to sort of fight as much as I can in the next like 2 years to try and like make the most out of it. So I sort of just putting other things on the back burner almost, or just trying to focus really like on this and give, attention where it's obviously needed at home.
Did fights ever sort of impact like, your happiness, like the result kind of would it mess you up for 6 months or a year, or are you pretty good at leaving the fight behind in the cage?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty usually over it within like a week, I'd say, and get to the next. There's no point dwelling on it, eh?
That's cool. And like in terms of like the sort of exit plan, is there a perfect, like, I know it sounds dumb, but is there a perfect like retirement fight you would like against a certain guy or a certain moment or anything like that?
No, nothing in particular. Nothing in particular. Yeah, I don't know really. It's sort of just it's more the opportunities that would get me excited to something happen. But yeah, I've got a few things sort of in the pipeline that may happen. So yeah, some exciting stuff hopefully.
Do things like the PFL excite you?
Yeah, possibly. like if I got to fight over in like the US,
Mm.
it would be pretty good. I think that would be a good way to finish. Or um,
Yeah. Is there a
yeah,
few things like that, like on like your bucket list where you're like, oh, I still wanted to fight a bit more overseas or anything like that?
I always wanted to fight in the US at least once, but yeah. So I don't know. It depends. I think I heard like PFL might be having a tournament, whether that's still happening or not. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I'm hearing one might be coming your way, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
So yeah, that's interesting. And I think I'm more getting to the fact of like if you win, we're not just going to see you put the title and the gloves down.
No, definitely not.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I have been telling my mates though that we were telling my friends partners that it's my retirement fight just so they can get the brownie points to go away because it's his last fight.
That's a good way to do it. That's every single. Nah, you know what you should tell everyone? You do the whole like my next loss, I retire. You know what I mean? So like it like builds every single
Yeah,
time.
build it up. And
Yeah.
10 years later, still fighting.
And what does excite you about the fight against Mr. David Martinez?
I think it's more so he's got a pretty good rep now, with how he's been doing. Obviously he's come up from lightweight, but in lightweight he did really well. And yeah, just basically more or less just the eternal title, what that holds, that's pretty good name for itself as well.
And is there anything about his game? I mean, I know he's a relentless grappler, but is that like a challenging puzzle for you, or are you just sort of like does that kind of make you wary going in?
Not really. I've been in there with people that want to hold you down for fucking five five rounds, like I've been there and I think I've actually, made big moves in those areas, and I definitely think I got what it takes to be able to finish him. And I kind of like the thought of someone who's always coming full pressure just gives me more opportunities to knock him out. So I like it.
And how do you see this fight going?
Yeah, I think I can get the finish. I think I'm gonna catch him with him obviously trying to go for those takedowns, or just, yeah, I can't see him standing with me too much.
Just preparing for a guy like Martinez make it a really annoying fight camp?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly to be honest. But I've been doing, I did that. It's pretty much similar for my last one before that. So yeah.
And you got many people coming over for the fight?
Yeah, so I got a crew of mates who sort of got the sign off. So there's probably like five of them coming over, and then yeah, partner and obviously Luke in my corner.
Hey, that's cool. So have you been with Luke the whole time?
Yep. Yeah, yeah. So we started martial arts way back in the day, and so yeah, we've been solid friends ever since.
Is that crazy to think you've been on this like entire ride with the same guy?
Nah, it just seems normal to me, to be honest. I don't. It would be weird if you're like chopping and changing. Like
Yeah.
he mostly only really helps me train in my like fight camps,
Mm.
apart from that. But so yeah, we don't like consistently train all year round, but yeah, even then that I probably wouldn't want anyone else in my corner. We just sort of know each other so well. It just gels.
Mm.
You think you need three cornermen? Yeah, only need one.
Yeah. Have you always only had one?
Um, I think for the last few times, I think, yeah. If so, it depends if someone comes over. I'm a bit of a tight ass, so I wouldn't really pay for someone else to come in my corner. I don't feel I feel like I could fight without a corner, so I don't know. I'm like, yeah. I try not to make a big fuss. I just hate making a fuss, really.
I mean, well, realistically, one guy holds the bucket and the other guy goes, "Yeah, like what Luke said." Like, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, it's like, what do you
It'd
really
be
do?
nice if the promoters, paid for an extra. That would be good. Then I'd definitely probably have another one from the gym.
And mate, before I let you go, I kind of want to. I mean, you've been around for a long time. Obviously, real roller coaster of a career at times. Is it like frustrating at all, or is it motivating seeing some of these guys get their like opportunities and sort of move on to the big show? Maybe guys you've trained with, guys you've sort of fought against. Is it frustrating, or like where is it at, like personally, mentally, when you see that?
Um, no, it's good to see. It's good to see that they get up there, especially people that beat me like Jono, he's done real well. It's almost if they beat me and then I want them to do shit, that makes me look even worse, you know. So the better they do, the better it is for my friggin' my what's that, ego.
Oh, mate. All right. Well, absolutely love it. I'm really, really looking forward to your fight. I think it's really, really interesting. David Martinez, his kryptonite has always been against like almost like strikers in the first round. And then if he gets through that, it's always, a wet blanket display. And he's now
Yeah.
added some sharp elbows, and he knows how to finish guys, and his striking's getting better. So I feel like you're fighting the best version of David Martinez. And I can't wait to see what version of Matt Vaile we get, mate.
Yeah, awesome.
So thanks so much for taking the time, and best of luck, and hopefully we see you for a couple more fights.
Sweet brother. Thank you.